Welcome to another episode of the Mark Jackson Show. I'm Mark Jackson with my dynamic co-host, Blue. We're on the Come and Talk to Me Network. Special edition, the Night Mode. Another special edition of the Night Mode because the playoff basketball started Saturday. We're covering it all. Fun time. My question to you is, did you have your popcorn, your favorite cold beverage? How did you actually watch the playoff games, Blue?
Oh man, I ain't have much. I did have a lot in my hands. I have my son in my hands, as you know. All day I was watching the games. I had me and Noah watching the games all day and enjoyed it with him. So that was my day.
I remember those days with me and Blue.
Yeah, I know.
Fun times.
Did you multitask? Did you get the popcorn and the drinks while you had me in one hand?
Get to know me. I don't eat popcorn.
What? Oh man! Oh, here we go tonight. Anyways, let's thank our sponsors for keeping the lights on, man. Underdog Fantasy. Click the QR code in the corner. It'll take you right to the site. Play our favorite game. That's the Pick'em game, man. So we're gonna start off fresh, right with what we just saw. Lakers and the Nuggets. I want to know, why does it seem like this dude Jokic is just chilling and then ends up with 32? What is the secret, man? Because this dude is it's like he's going through the motions, and you look up and this dude has every stat possible.
It seems that way because that's exactly what's taking place. He is an absolute all-time great. Not just one of the greatest centers ever played this game, but one of the greatest basketball players ever. It comes easy to him. He has no weaknesses, no flaws, has an incredible basketball IQ, is patient, and plays at his own pace. You look at Anthony Davis, who played extremely well, but the Joker did his job, carrying his team, picking and choosing when to be aggressive as a scorer, when to be aggressive as a facilitator. He is absolutely 100% special, all-time great special.
So many times we talk about halftime adjustments. Going into the fourth quarter, what can a coach like Darvin Ham do to make an adjustment to slow down that pick and roll that Joker and Murray are running?
Well, there's no secret. They won a championship closing out ball games with the high screen roll action, putting the ball in their two best players' hands, and then those guys making decisions out of them. What they did is they surrounded with a knockdown shooter on one side in Michael Porter, another knockdown shooter in KCP, and then an outstanding slasher who does a great job playing off those guys in Aaron Gordon, being in position to catch a lob or catch a nice crisp pass and finish at the rim. They execute you to death. To me, it's not a halftime adjustments. It's preparing before the game, before the series even started, understanding how we're going to beat them. To me, the game was lost in the second quarter. You have to, in playoff games, especially in playoff games, regular season games too, but especially in playoff games, close out quarters. And the Los Angeles Lakers did a poor job of closing out the end of the second quarter and closing out the end of the third quarter. To me, that's where they lost the ball game. You have to make sure, not scoring every time, but you have to make sure you get quality offensive trips down the floor where you get quality looks. You take a bad shot, a quick three, the ball in the wrong hands, all of a sudden they get it going in transition. They get high quality offense off your poor execution on the offensive end. It basically energizes their offense, and you pay the price. All of a sudden, a 10-point lead by you turns into a tied ball game, and now you're down 5 or 6. They are an efficient, effective basketball team that knows their strengths and plays to it.
Yeah, I was watching that second quarter as it was going down. I'm like, man, this is the moment that's going to come back to bite us. And those are the moments that, like as you're saying, that make the difference between a championship team and just a team that was good this year.
And to me, you look at it and you say, well, you could point the finger and say D'Angelo Russell, I believe, was 1 for 9 from 3, struggled from shooting the basketball, not normal. But that doesn't win or lose the ball game. You're going to have great days shooting. You're going to have bad days shooting. What wins or loses the ball game is your ability to execute at a high level against a championship caliber team. They're not going to panic when you go off on a run. You think you're world beaters and you're dancing and acting a fool and high-fiving and you think it's over in the first quarter. No, this team is slow, methodical, and they're professionals. They understand it's a long process. I remember being a young player playing against the Boston Celtics. I was with the New York Knicks. Very good basketball team. We're playing the Celtics. We're up first quarter. Second quarter, we're high-fiving, dancing, doing the shake, all of that. Next thing you know, midway through the fourth quarter, Bird, Parrish, McHale, DJ, Ainge, those guys sitting on the bench chilling. We down 20, wondering what happened. They understood the assignment and they didn't panic, and we got too high. You have to make sure you have veteran mentality and understand and remain disciplined, especially playoff time against a championship team.
Now, watching that game, I don't really have a problem with D'Lo shooting that many times. I actually like that he was that aggressive tonight, even though he missed those shots. I think moving forward, he's going to have to make those shots for the Lakers to have a legitimate shot.
Yeah, that's a great point. And if I was coaching him, I'd be in the locker room saying, those are great shots. Those are the same shots you made the last month. Don't worry about that. That's not my issue. My issue is when you're careless with the basketball, when you throw a reckless one-handed bounce pass that leads into a turnover and an easy deuce on the other end, when you don't pay attention to how you're supposed to be locked in and tied together defensively, understanding the assignment of defending Jamal Murray or whoever the assignment is. That's my issue. If I'm talking to D'Angelo Russell, I want you to be aggressive. I want you shooting the basketball. I want you to remain confident, but I want you to also do the little things that have put us in position to play this championship team.
Biggest change that you need to see from the Lakers moving into game 2?
I love what Anthony Davis did, and I think he has to remain consistent. Play through him, give him the basketball in situations where he's posting up Joker. You see he went to the body, faded away, high percentage quality looks, got it on the pinch post, turned face, where he had the advantage, and he capitalized. I want to stay consistent with that. I want to stay consistent with LeBron James, the way that he played offensively and sharing the basketball and rebounding. But I want to make sure we tie up the little things. That's the biggest adjustment. We have to do the little things that put us in position to win. When we don't, we don't stand a chance against this team. But when we tie together the little things and execute every single possession, and we put ourselves in position to have a major upset. That's the mentality, and that's the adjustment. Sometimes it's not X and O's. It's about doing what we talked about doing and doing it better.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed most of the game plan from the Lakers. I think with that same game plan and D'Lo not shooting 1 for 9, it's a much closer game, and I think that we leave saying great job from top to bottom for the Lakers. I have a lot of hope moving forward. Maybe that's just me with the yellow and purple shades on, but I got a lot of hope, man. We on the way back.
Sounds good. You don't have the same energy that you had the previous show about the Lakers. I mean, I have the same energy. First of all, it's purple and gold. It's not yellow and gold.
All right, purple and gold. You know what I mean. Look, it was a lot of games today, man. I watched a lot of games back to back. My boy crying in my arms, feeding him. It's a lot of games today, so excuse me. But purple and gold, yeah. You know.
I watched a lot of games too. Shout out to Jeff Van Gundy. I miss him. I miss hearing him call games.
I miss y'all calling too, man. Y'all might have to do a live stream or something. Do something for the fans, man. Come together and do it one time.
If you say so.
All right, man. What can the Nuggets do moving forward to keep them in position to be 2-0 in this series?
Well, Coach Mike Malone talked about it. They got to make sure that they are disciplined on the defensive end. They got away with allowing the Lakers to establish a rhythm early, and they climb back into the ball game by getting back to their true identity. You won't always have that luxury. Sometimes you dig yourself such a hole that you're in trouble and can't bounce back from it. So I think the big adjustment is showing that film of that first quarter, showing how we dug ourselves a hole, showing how if we continue to do that, it's not going to end well. We are a better basketball team, and we got to act better. Our habits have to be better. We have to hold each other accountable. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable from a coaching standpoint, and it's unacceptable from a player standpoint. Let's be better. We're up 1-0. The bottom line is to continue to win ball games by however means necessary. But when we don't do it the right way, we can't co-sign it. It's unacceptable, and make the proper adjustments.
Now, I know you don't root for a team, Pops, but come on, man. Your Knicks set it off in the Garden, man. Took care of Philly. What you think? What they got to do moving forward, man? What you think? What did you see?
I saw a great energy. I saw a building that was jumping, electric in Madison Square Garden on Saturday. I saw an elite player in Joel Embiid fight through not being 100% and also taking a spill, falling down, going to the locker room, and old school basketball, refusing to come out with civilian clothes on. Came out and fought his way through the second half and put his team in position to have a chance to win. I saw, which this time of year, role players play exceptionally well and put their team in position to win. We fall in love with the home run hitters. We fall in love with Jalen Brunson. We fall in love with Joel Embiid. But you win the ball games with guys like Miles McBride showing up big, knocking down shots. You win the ball game with a team daring Josh Hart to take and make shots and him locked and loaded, ready to do that. You win a ball game with Mitchell Robinson playing stellar defense against an all-time great in Joel Embiid, making life a little tough, giving quality minutes. Those little things, those players, you win a ball game if you're Denver by KCP making 4 three-pointers in the third quarter. It's the role players that elevate their game and wind up being heroes in the playoffs.
Yeah, man, it was a lot going on in that game tonight. I think with a healthy Joel Embiid, this series swings in the 76ers' favor. I doubt, seeing the way that he's moving around, that we're going to get to see that this year. I'm disappointed by that.
I think you look at that second half, throwing it off the backboard at the end of the first half and dunking it, he's got to be smarter. Spectacular play, standing ovation, and you get excited. But he's got to be smarter. Right now, his body's not in position to put a request like that on the body. So he's got to use wisdom. I thought he did a great job of using wisdom in the second half. He's an elite talent, and he's good enough to be on the floor and impact even when he's not 100%. I think the other guys, Tobias Harris is a guy I've known since high school. He's a big-time scorer. He's got to look to be more aggressive and get himself going with maybe some free throws early, maybe run him a quick post-up or isolation early on to gain his confidence because he's too good of a scorer to not be impactful on the offensive end. Kelly Oubre, another guy that can score. They got guys that can score. They have to put them in position to score and support Maxey, support Joel Embiid. I think they'll be just fine. But the Knicks got away. You look at Dante DiVincenzo. He was a minus 27 for the ball game. That's tough to do. But when you got guys coming off the bench, willing and ready, locked and loaded and prepared to respond to a starter not playing well, you wind up with a 1-0 lead in the playoffs.
And I think to your point, there's no reason why the 76ers with their roster can't do what the Knicks are doing. Because if I'm Trey Maxey, I look like I line up with Jalen Brunson. And from top to bottom with the rest of that roster, if I'm Tobias Harris, I can score, I can make plays. If I'm Kyle Lowry, I can make plays. It's a dude in Buddy Hield that's off the bench that can make plays also. So it's a team that can compete despite this Joel Embiid injury. And I'm looking forward to seeing a good series moving forward. But it's Knicks tape, man.
No, but you're right, though. The guys you named for Philadelphia, if you put them opposite in a stare down with the guys that they're matching up with, they're not wrong to know that individually they're better than the guy that they're facing. So the bottom line is we don't play in a stare down. We play in a competitive situation. So they've got to do it when the whistle blows and the ball is tossed in the air. They got to elevate their competitive spirit, their competitive drive, and match the force of the New York Knicks. And if you don't, it's going to be a problem. And I think that was the difference in game one. The Knicks played, which they've done all season long, at a high level with great intensity, and they fed off the energy of the home crowd.
Pardon me. What's a realistic expectation for the Knicks fans to have moving forward for the rest of the season, man?
To me, you look at the playoff teams and realistically get to the Eastern Conference Finals, get to the finals. I mean, they're good enough and led by Jalen Brunson, who is a nightmare to defend and wins battles night in and night out on his terms with his craftiness, his strength, his incredible footwork. So this is a team that if I was there, I'm thinking we could beat anybody. That's got to be the mentality. If we can't, then let's pack it in right now and go home. But they have the ability, the talent, the competitive spirit, and the depth to certainly beat anybody.
Coach, what does Nick Nurse need to say to the 76er team to make sure that they win game 2?
To me, the thing you say is we're down 1-0. Guess what? Good job, New York Knicks. You won one ball game. They've done nothing. They've done nothing other than protect home court for one day. Our job is to go into New York City in Madison Square Garden in a hostile environment and handle our business. We had 2 tries to do it. We failed on the first trip. Let's make sure in game 2 we take care of business, match their intensity. I guarantee you, fellas, if we come out of game 2 with the mentality and the agreement that we were the hardest working team on the court, it's going to be a 1-1 lead. It's going to be a 1-1 series, and we're going back home. That's all we have to do. And if you line up 12 guys in uniform on both sides, the number 1 pick, without question, is the big fella. Now bring us home.
I like that. I like that. I'm feeling that. I'm excited to see what the rest of this series got to bring us, man. We're gonna keep some questions coming. I want you to keep your culture hat on. I know you always keep all your hats on. I know, but just just bear with me real quick. We gonna go down this, all right? What you don't hear me?
Yes, I heard you. You my dad or I'm your dad?
All right, man. With the Suns getting blown out by the Timberwolves and my guy Ant-Man, Suns fans said the following. Man, KD and Booker are great scorers, but the Suns can't play defense to save their lives. Coach Mark, what you got to say about this?
Right.
These are fan questions, by the way. These are not my statements, so I don't need you coming at me.
No. You, Mr. Fan, whoever you are, to whom it may concern, you're right. But I'd even add Bradley Beal in there. They got 3 great offensive scorers in the Phoenix Suns uniform. We're not going to win it on the offensive end. The problem is they haven't taken pride all season long on the defensive end. I need somebody to match the intensity and take the challenge of saying, Anthony Edwards, you are an elite player. We see you playing with a chip on your shoulders. We see you got it going on. We see you got something to prove. I need somebody to find a way by any means necessary to stop the bleeding. Walking around, running around with a swag and a bounce is unbelievable. He deserved it. But in the Phoenix Suns locker room, somebody's got to take pride and say, I'm going to stop the bleeding. I'm going to make him work for everything he gets. Again, we rave about the talent. At the end of the day, the hardest working team was the Minnesota Timberwolves. They left with a win because of it. You look at, it wasn't just Anthony Edwards. Rudy Gobert, who you can make the case was eliminated with his Minnesota Timberwolves team last year because of his inability to defend the pick and roll action. He was a liability. As great as he is defensively, he was a liability last year, switching the pick and roll, whatever defense they decided to play against elite guards, it was a problem for him to the point where you had to take him out. Game 1, whether it was Booker, Beal, Durant, whoever it was, Rudy Gobert, outstanding job switching, whatever the assignment was, in a drop, up. I saw him switch a pick and roll or trap it somehow and backpedal and deflect the lob pass. That's called multiple effort. That is winning basketball. You didn't just do your job when you trapped the pick and roll. Now, when he gets rid of the basketball, the player, you got a responsibility to fire it back out of there, get under the rim, protect the rim, and then recognize who you're guarding. It was stellar defense and a stellar performance in game 1, not just by Anthony Edwards. Rudy Gobert did an outstanding job. And I thought another key was Karl Anthony Towns. I can't afford to allow you to get away with Kevin Durant, even though he's 7 feet tall, guarding me. I've got to take him down to the block and put pressure on him and force him to defend, try to wear out his legs and take away some of that energy that he has for the offensive end. I thought it was a well-played game for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They stayed ready. How about Alexander Walker? Defensively, timely shots, playing with confidence, uses that length and size to defend the guard play of Phoenix. It was a beautiful performance by the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I think if you're Phoenix, the mindset got to be, we got to stop somebody. We don't have to be an all-time great defensive team, but we've got to close the gap. We got to be a little bit better, well, a lot better than we've been, or else we're going to wind up going home. You cannot give players and teams in this league confidence and life by a lackadaisical approach on the defensive end, and that's exactly what the Phoenix Suns are doing. But it's their habits. They've been this way all season long, and if they don't make the proper adjustments, they'll be home.
Can they make those adjustments when you spent the whole season playing a certain way? Does it get to a point where you just are who you are?
You can make the proper adjustments, but you have to have the leadership and you have to hold guys accountable. It is awfully weird if I'm a coach. I'm not talking about Frank Vogel. I'm just saying in general. If I'm a coach that never preached anything about defense and rotations and executions and principles, and all of a sudden I come in before game 2 and try to put in a scheme, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. We have to have the right habits all season long, or you're going to get exposed when the lights get brightest.
Number 2, same series.
Did you see? Hold on. Did you see Anthony Edwards' swag?
Yeah, the swag was.
It was no resistance. He crossing over, back, waving. He was Kobe in the All-Star game, waving off screens. I don't need no screen. This is one-on-one. Mind your business. This is me and him.
Yeah.
And gave respect. He said, my GOAT all time is Kevin Durant. I had the time of my life going against the guy that I think is the best player I've ever seen. Respect, but also attacking with confidence. It was, I mean, I knew right away when I was filming part of the movie Hustle with the great Adam Sandler, I knew right away looking at Anthony Edwards, he's a different dude. He is a different dude that loves the game of basketball and thinks he's the baddest dude in the gym at all times.
Yeah, I got to take his statements about KD with a grain of salt, though. I'm feeling a little Michael Jordan vibes when he was making sure that Charles Oakley was feeling good when y'all played each other, man. I don't need to hear this right now. Wait until the season's over and then say you the greatest, play the greatest all the time. Because right now it's making me feel like, but KD did play hard tonight. He looked great. So I got to tip my hat to him. He competed and he showed up. The rest of them dudes, I did not enjoy watching their effort tonight on the defensive end. It didn't feel like a first game of the playoffs. It didn't feel like there was a sense of urgency.
I just need somebody upset. I just need somebody yelling at somebody or correcting somebody or holding somebody accountable. This dude is clicking on all cylinders and he's exposing us individually and collectively on the defensive end. We've got to do something. And I didn't see anybody upset or angry of what took place. The thing is, when you have elite talent, you could think, oh, we're going to be all right tomorrow. And you keep on saying that and you're going to be home. Yeah. Tomorrow comes quicker than you think.
Yeah, we watched Kobe White on the side do the same thing that you're saying that you wish that you've seen tonight. Speak to his team, encourage his team. They ended up losing because their team doesn't have the talent, but I'm looking for somebody on the Suns to step up in that type of way and just tug on the coattail of some of these players. Pause.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to. It could be a guy in a suit and tie, a regular warm-up suit on the side these days, or it could be a guy in uniform. But somebody's got to be upset to the point where it ain't all lovey-dovey and it ain't all let's go to the restaurant and eat. No, somebody gotta be upset and stop the bleeding. Somebody got to be upset and take the challenge. That's true leadership. I'm not trying to snap. I'm not trying to say it's your fault. Guess what? It's all of our fault, but we got to find a solution to this problem, because right now that dude is a problem and he's clicking on all cylinders and his swag is on 1,000. They was almost like J. Cole. They apologized and wanted no part of it.
Yeah, no, they didn't want no problems. I'm telling you, man, it's some MJ Ant-Man's game. Them boys they want to be friends with him when he come in the game. I don't know.
No.
Huh?
No. They don't want to be friends. He was clicking, and you get a guy.
They don't want to be enemies. They want to make sure we cool. It's all good. Good move. Let me help you up. They helping him up, dapping him on the side, slapping him on the butt. Don't slap. Come on.
I just think it's the mentality. I don't think they want to be friends. If you ask Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, or Kevin Durant, are they better than Anthony Edwards? All three of them would say yes. It ain't even close. So they don't fear him, but they just don't have that dog in them that will do whatever it takes to stop this guy from cooking us. And I think they have to be challenged individually and collectively. Somebody's got to step up and say, I got him. And make sure on the other side of that pick, you're there, because I'm going to do everything I got to do to fight over the screen, to contain him. If I got a hard foul, whatever I got to do to stop this dude from taking over the game, I'm going to do it. And that sets the tone.
All right. Now back to the question, because you never addressed it. The fan asked, if the Suns lose game 2, will they lose the series, Coach?
The numbers say they will. You go down 2-0, and now you're going back home for game 3. The numbers say you're going to lose the series. But if I'm the Phoenix Suns, fans, players, coaches, management, ownership, they've done nothing other than take care of home court. Our job is to win a game in Minnesota, whether that's game 1, 2, 5, 7, it doesn't matter. Our job is to win. Now, what it does is put us with our backs against the walls, forced to have to win 2 games in Phoenix, but that's not asking much. We can take care of business at our home. But you don't want to be put in a position where we got to win at home. You want to be put in a position where it's a bonus if we win at home because we took care of business in Minnesota. So I wouldn't be thinking, let's wait to game 3. Let's take care of business in game 2.
Yeah, this is tough, man. As you were speaking just now, I'm just thinking about it. The Suns are in trouble. Suns are in trouble because this is the number 1 defensively ranked team going up against a team that struggles on defense, and this is playoff basketball where defense wins. The Suns are in trouble.
You're right about that, and they have the right habits. They communicate defensively. They can make you work individually and collectively. They have principles that they stick to. So you're right, but I will say this, as a guy that's played 17 years, that followed the league, that covered playoff games for 20 years or so, that did final games, you can overreact with a win, and you can also overreact with a loss. I've seen teams not make the proper adjustments. You can throw balloons and sparks and all of that because you got a W, and all of a sudden fall flat on your face in game 2. If you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, the mentality is, we didn't do nothing. The work is far from done. And if you're the Phoenix Suns, the mentality is, we gave one away. Let's look to bounce back in game 2 and make the right adjustments. You don't want to overreact either way.
Yeah.
Now, I like the fireworks in the background and thumbs up. I mean, I like that. That's what I was about to. That's the night mode, baby. That's the night mode.
That's what I was about to ask. So, what did you get? How did you get that?
It was special edition.
When I put it, that's not that special, dog. Relax. Relax. You're not the only one with this kit. Relax. Relax. All right, let's keep it moving. Number 3. Here we go. In Saturday's first game, Donovan Mitchell scored 30, and the Cavaliers went over the Magic. The gritty Cavaliers are not to be overlooked by anyone in this NBA playoffs, including Boston. Wow, that's a big statement. What does Coach Mark say?
You're right. I look down our lineup. I look down our bench. I look at guys in uniform. I'm not scared of nobody. Our problem all season long, we've been inconsistent, and we haven't been as healthy as we should be. Donovan Mitchell missed a bunch of games. Darius Garland missed some games. So we wasn't 100%. But if we are healthy and whole, bring on whoever. This is a team that has as good a backcourt scoring and putting pressure on you as maybe anybody, not named the Dallas Mavericks. So they have the ability in Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell to put pressure on you. I thought early on in the game, those guys were getting downhill. They were being aggressive. And they did a great job getting Mobley and Allen going off of their force penetration as far as getting the ball into the paint and making plays for those guys. They put pressure on Orlando, and it was successful. And they can do that against anybody. Orlando is an elite defensive team. But you talking about home run hitters in the lineup, I thought they played aggressive, and they spread the floor because early on, or all game long, they were making threes. And if they're making shots, that opens up all sorts of lanes for those guards that can create havoc. This is a dangerous team. The question is, how consistent can they be? Because all season long, they've been hot or cold. They have to keep their foot on the gas pedal, and they can beat anybody.
I got to disagree. They can't beat the Celtics. They can't beat the Celtics, man. They can't. It's a reason why. You look at Team USA, you see that man Drew Holiday on Team USA, right? That man is a defensive stopper. So when Donovan Mitchell come to town, just know we got some waiting for him too.
I'm not sitting there telling you that I'm picking the Cleveland Cavaliers to beat the Boston Celtics if they see each other in the playoffs. What I am saying is that they have the capability of beating the Celtics. They have more than what it takes to make life a little difficult for the Celtics. That's a three-point shooting team in Boston that is an outstanding defensive team. but they can you can create some problems against them that forces them to make adjustments. And Cleveland has some issues that can be a problem for the Boston Celtics. I wouldn't pick them against them, but they could beat them.
Nah, shout out to the Cavs, man. They look great. I just don't got them above the Celtics. I got to keep it above.
But that's not the question.
Huh?
The question isn't, do you have them? I don't have them above them neither.
The question is, the gritty Cavaliers are not to be overlooked. First off, I don't need the gritty Cavaliers. It's a lot.
Keep checking the fan.
No, because there's a lot of teams that's grittier than the Cavs. Like, what we doing?
I will agree with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that out. The Cavaliers.
You can't edit the mail.
I'm taking this is. We're not gonna let the fans just come and freestyle and just say whatever. We gotta proof. Who proofread these?
I'm gonna give you an ovation for editing the fans.
That's what I'm saying. Give me a thumbs up. All right. But it says they're not to be overlooked by anyone in this NBA playoffs, including Boston. So my thing is, y'all called it. This fan said Boston for some reason. Yeah, Boston should be overlooking them. Boston is the best team, and if I'm Boston, I'm feeling like we beaten everybody, and this is our year. This is our time. So not necessarily every game we really overlook it, but no, nobody is on our level.
Yeah, but you're basically answering the question, because if you're the Boston Celtics, you would agree we're not going to overlook the Cleveland Cavaliers or anybody else. So that's all that question is saying. So you agree. We're in agreement.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man. All right. Oh, this one is crazy, man. You might not think it's crazy. This statement is, this fan says, Donovan Mitchell is a top 10 player that can lead the Cavs to win over any team. What you think, Coach Mark?
It's tough, but what I will say is Donovan Mitchell today is not a top 10 player, but Donovan Mitchell could be the best player in any series moving forward. This series and any series moving forward. So he's good enough to be the best player in any series that his team faces. But is he a top 10 player today? No. But he's a special talent that can ultimately be the best player in any series. So I love his game, and I love what he does for the Cavs when they're clicking on all cylinders. Does a great job of leading them. I like what he did in game one, setting the tone as a scorer and a playmaker. That's what your best players have to do.
It's so hard nowadays as a guard to be in that top 10. And it's no respect to okay, I'm not gonna say as a guard, as a undersized guard. Even though Donovan Mitchell is not undersized, so I didn't want to say undersized, but I guess technically today he is. When you got guys like Wemby running around, it's a special category to be under 6'6" and be in that top 10 players.
Yeah, it's just that is a tough group to crack when you're talking about top 10 players in the world. He was there. I think injuries, made it tough for him this season to be in that discussion. But again, I have the utmost respect for his talent and his abilities, to the point where I believe he's good enough or great enough to be the best player in any series.
It could be that he's in Cleveland too. That smaller market. It's just a little. I mean, he was in Utah, so it was,
yeah. Don't disrespect Cleveland. It's just because it's a tough 10 to crack. That's
true. All right. With the lower seed teams all hosting all 4 games on Sunday, which ones should be on upset alert most?
Every single last one of them. I played playoff basketball, and you could be a fool to believe we're good because we're home. Whether you're the 1 seed, the 8 seed, the 2 seed, the 7 seed, doesn't matter. You have to have the approach that we need to take care of business. And at any point, if we decide not to take care of business or not do the work that we're called to do, then we can expose ourselves to losing at home or on the road. I don't think any team is good enough to go through the motions and win ball games when it matters most. So I think everybody should be on high alert and have the right approach and mentality, because it's playoff basketball where anything happens.
I'm looking right now, and you already know who I'm saying is on upset alert tomorrow. and that's the Milwaukee Bucks. Especially without Giannis, it's trouble. It's trouble.
Shout out to the Indiana Pacers who sent me an invitation to come to game three or four in Indiana this series. Not sure if I'm able to make it because we're filming this show, but shout out to them. And I think that is a dangerous team that I picked for no reason, not because I played there, but I think styles makes fights, and I think they will win this series. But it's going to be an exciting brand of basketball both ways, and they have had some interesting battles during the course of the regular season, which shows you how tough the Pacers could be facing this Bucks team.
I just want to know, did you get a +1? Because I've been waving the Pacers flag. What's going on?
Hold on. When did you get the Anthony Edwards swag that tells you that you're my +1 anyway?
No, I'm just saying you wasn't really showing the Pacers love. I've been showing them love for a minute now. What's going on? Wow.
I did. Right. I did get a +1. I'll let you know.
Just send me some pictures, man. Just send me some pictures. It's all good. It's all good. Giannis ain't playing anyway. It's all right. Man, thanks to our sponsors, Underdog Fantasy. Click the QR code in the corner. It'll take you to the site and play the pick'em game. That's our favorite, man.
That's a wrap for this episode of Night Mode, Mark Jackson Show. My guy, the co-host, the Dynamic One, Blue, and I thank you for your love and support and appreciate everything you do. Remember, old man once said that everybody screaming at the beach is not drowning. There are some folks that enjoy being in over their head. There are some folks that enjoy being in the deep water. Make sure you surround yourself by the right folks. It can be the difference between swimming and sinking. Blessings.